relationships. If you've ever stepped outside anytime after your birth, or even interacted with some base level with a portion of human society, there's no denying that you've most likely come into contact with some talk of romantic partnerships. I mean, almost everyone loves talking about them in some way or another, whether they realize it or not. But if you look around or talk around with any amount of people not in these partnerships, you might notice that some of these singles bring up the topic more than people actually in relationships. Especially around the new year, you can see a bunch of people telling themselves, I need to get someone this year. And a lot of times they put a decent amount of stock into whether or not they're able to get with someone. It's treated like a personal accomplishment, like getting a 225 on the bench or being able to run a marathon, shit like that. Just like other goals people set at the beginning of the year, a lot of people think, once I get it, I'll be good. All my problems are gonna be fixed as soon as I hit that. Everyone's in a rush to get into a relationship. I mean, being alone when your genetic coding is telling you to be with someone is really fucking annoying. And you might have a bunch of latent emotions that you just can't dump on your friends or family. You feel like you need someone intimate with you to share that with. Also, it doesn't really help that you're branded as kind of a loser if you're not making moves or on the wings to get into an actual relationship. So all the reasons are there for making somebody actually want to consider actively seeking out a partner. But what that partner hunt fails to consider is that all that work might actually just end up making your life worse. The grass isn't always greener. Sure, you can probably find someone pretty and someone you think you know through a few meetings and possibly get that person to date you, but you may not be ready for what you're gonna find out. Literally anything can come after that. Imagine The Fault in Our Stars, but after all that emotional turmoil, those two actually end up being perfectly healthy and they go home healthy and happy. But what if one day, I don't know, sometime into the future, the girl finds out that dude plays DNF Duel pretty regularly. Old girl wants to stay, of course, because, well, you had a whole movie about that. But also, she may start to realize that this guy might also have pretty bad judgment and horrible taste. And I don't know if you've ever been around someone with consistently wrong opinions, or what you think of that. But me personally, that is strictly a friend thing. At most. And I imagine for a lot of people, including this girl, that would be the case too. And that whole sparkling God-sent cure for cancer ended up being for jack shit because Hazel could not stand that she never once saw that man play a single good video game. You just can't have them together. You need to exorcise demons from normal humans' everyday lives. Maybe that's why he fucking died. Satan probably wanted it back. But putting that aside, I want to talk about the other side of the story. You, the one looking for someone. Because I know if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you're single. I know my fucking audience. Comment down below though if you want though. Prove me wrong in the comments down below. But you know what? That doesn't even matter because this piece of advice applies to the both of you. These hoes, they don't love you like that. This advice is so old it basically predates any kind of human society. Cavemen of the Ice Age were saying this to their boy with the biggest man mustache in the tribe. And those boys would watch helplessly as their former baller friend got whittled down to pelt handling for some spare squirrel. It's a life lesson that many have learned and even more have taught very harshly. But as the usual recipient of this advice, you need to consider something. You might actually be bitches. Now, I know, you might not be into gold digging or anything, but you gotta think in terms of what you are looking for, because chances are, your goals might not be aligned with the other person, because is that person someone you actually like for real, or is it just something you're trying to get so you can say you bagged it, checking off a side quest objective and leaving? Because now you're just stealing and wasting someone's time. You gotta remember, this shit ain't something like Persona. You can't just start dating and then say, alright bitch, see you Christmas. Dating someone is actually pretty fucking annoying, you know, especially if you're not cut out for it. If you're not built for it, you might go crazy, no matter how much you convince yourself this will save you. Because you gotta think about a lot of shit before you really commit. If you can't actually convey basic emotions to people consistently or effectively right now, maybe it's not the best time to go to a relationship that makes you do these things. Or if the word commitment makes you convulse on the ground, throw up on the carpet, and generally invites terror into your mind, maybe it's not the best idea to commit to a person. And maybe one more overlooked reason you're not ready for this shit is Maybe you have other shit you want to do or other shit you have to do. You gotta get your priorities straight. And actually, it makes me think of this one anime I watched a few weeks back, and Romantic Killer. This girl, perfectly happy with her life of gaming and chilling at home, has a life set for her. Now, all of a sudden, she has to deal with the stresses of a malevolent being putting attractive and very nice men into her life and telling her to date them to save the human population. And just an aside, they're not talking about some world extinction event or something, they're just talking about Japan's declining birth rate. But in exchange, her accidental deal with the devil means that all the things that she wanted to do and was content with are all now locked away in favor of these men. And they'll stay that way unless she can somehow get a contractual out. And she's gonna move heaven and earth in order to get that out, because nothing in life is more important than your God-given right of being able to sit in your ass and do fucking nothing. So she does everything in her power to undercut and kneecap anything this magical asshole tries to do in order to get it to leave her alone. Because all the hottest men in the world will not stop her from chilling so fucking hard. Of course, at the end of the day, this is just supposed to be a dumb little shoujo anime. The dudes all like her. But Anzu Hoshino will not falter, because she knows her priorities in life. Something you might still need to figure out yourself. Now, of course, despite everything I just said, I'm not really trying to police you on who you can and can't go for, or when you can and can't go for people. I ain't your mom. Do whatever the hell you feel is right. But when you're trying to really bag someone, just remember, it takes more than you think to keep it in that bag. And honestly, you might not be built for it just yet.